Hi everyone, very good evening. Welcome to SIEM Intelligence Family. I am Vishnuvardhan Chandpatla. I am going to take the sessions of your site certified MITRE attack mapping and you can say expert, right? So prior to going to this particular sessions, we'll just have a basic intro about our company SIEM Intelligence as our sister company. This you can you can say our sister company, the Hacktivists, right? So our company SIM Intelligence is one of the most you can consider leading blue teaming and you can say SIEM provided training provided company. Offers a very wide ranges, you can say range of courses and training in terms of information as well as cyber security. We are one of the fast growing online information security training provided company based out of India. We have very skillful persons, you can say highly skilled infosec trainers. I can say they all are very expertise and you can say they are certified in their various cyber security domains, and they do give instructions and you can say in a various concepts like SIM concepts, SOC integrations, malware analysis, threat hunting, and you can say MITRE attack mapping and all. So these people are highly qualified as well as expertise in their specific security domain. So, and as I said, our company SIEM Intelligence is one of the most trusted and reliable provider company in terms of unmatched hands-on practical training to the individual as well as corporate worldwide. Our goal is to train, mentor as well as support your cybersecurity career in terms of cyber and information security. So our goal is to make you can say make India more cyber power. Okay, this is our prime concern. People should have the cyber awareness as well as the knowledge because the future weapon is something called cyber security only, right? So we need to defend our you can say our organization by you can say monitoring and safeguarding, putting our best efforts to safeguard our you can say both organization as well as nation, right? Thank you so much for this, and I am Vishnuvardhan Chandpatla. So it's a brief introduction about me. I was, you can say, I did my post graduation in you can say MSc from PTU, that's Punjab Technical University, in 2007. Presently, I am a research scholar of you can say cyber forensics and information security in University of Madras. And I have so many accreditations, like I am a CISA certified from ISACA, and I am an architect of Curador, Linux app, Red Hat certified architect. I did my CEH ENSA from European Council, and I am a CPENT also, and I did my Security Plus Network Plus from CompTIA. So other than this, I did my cyber certificate in cyber security from ISC Square. So like I had, even so I did my so many OEM courses, something like I did VMware, you can say VxRail, HCA solutions, data solutions, something like Seclo. I did some activities on you can say Commvault, NetVault solutions too. That's data security solutions. So during my early stage of my life, you can understand about my experience so that you can come to know what go I am going to explain in terms of you can say our sessions, right? So I did my as I said, after completion of my MSc I have joined as a you can say system administrator and network administration for a legacy network for more than 5 years, where I understand what is mean by service network, what is mean by understand you can say I independently worked on each and every services. More than 13 services I have handled there, and I handled various pictures, routers, you can say modems, where I understood network in a very deeper in manner. I handled OFC, you can say OFC based network architecture independently. Then I realized to move on to the cybersecurity field. Then I became a cybersecurity coordinator and a member of incident handling team due to my experience they gave me, and I provided really a good output in terms of incident handling. I have handled for you can say various malware attacks and you can say network attacks, and I have handled one DDoS attack, which is considered as one of the most famous in terms of CERT, that is Cyber Emergency Response Team. I did it like for more than 2 years. Then I moved on to specialization, that's network analysis. So there I have understood what is meant by Splunk, and understanding of your logs in terms of Splunk. So I have analyzed so many flows, various different type of flows of you can say routers, switches, and audit logs, audit trail logs, request logs, and accept logs, all those concepts. So I analyzed very deeply, and I understood so many network attacks in terms of layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7. So I have seen how spoofing get happens, how you can say brute force that I have seen literally in terms of understanding this network log. So then followed by I worked in a Curador, that's my operations manager. As operations manager, I understood some security operations and all. So then I'm right now a chief analyst in data center management unit, and I'm a passionate to take sessions of SOC experts, MITRE attack mappings, and Curador experts, as well as security network plus. So this I do since last 3 years. So this is my brief, and I have an experience of total 15 years in terms of both IT as well as information security, exclusively 10 plus years in IT security, right? So this is my brief profiling, so that you just had got an idea of what is mean by my profile and all. So let's move on to our actual topic, certified MITRE attack training, right? Excuse me, there is some issue. Uh, if you don't mind, someone was on mic. Do you have any doubts? Just let me know. Otherwise, could you please mute off? Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah. So, certified MITRE attack training. What is MITRE? So, you can say MITRE is something called, people used to call message set in instead of you can say reverse engineering and all. But anyway, that maybe there may not be there. But MITRE is an organization, as you can say, you can consider this in considerably. It was introduced in 2013 by you can say a NGO. You can consider. So this is a globally accessible knowledge base in terms of you can say adversary tactic techniques on the basis of real time observations. So prior to that, we need to understand what is this and why we require this training. So what is the good scope of all these things? So if we start understanding MITRE attack, so why this required? So if we go back to our you can say forefathers and all, so there was a concept of war. So there's a concept of identifying a target, dispatching, destruction, destroying enemy's content. So the same thing is happening over here too. So people are in a you can say in a real time cyber world. What is happening? The people used to attack say enemies, or you can say people, you can consider the attacker might be enemy, or you can say black hat hackers, you can consider those having a malicious intention. So they do hit a legitimate you can say uh, websites and applications and all to get some, and they try to threaten and you can say theft some data.
Hello,
Yeah.
you are WeChat hacker.
I'm not an hacker, thank you so much. I'm just analyst, where I do try to collect the information of analysis of data. Right? Thank you so much.
Ah, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So this particular MITRE attack is basically to identify how an adversary, that you can say attacker, try to do the attacks. So what kind of attacks people used to do, what kind of you can say weaponization they utilize, so how they used to intercept your area, how they are doing the exploitation of your organization or your organization network, how they are persisting in the organization network, how they are hiding. So this particular MITRE attack come to know. So these are the different methodologies are there, because of, you can say, these are the you can say attackers, you can say prospects. You can consider these are the attackers prospects. The structure they made by the, you can say, that particular MITRE team, or you can say NGO team, or you can say these are the group of people, right? So these people used to made it in a such a fashion to identify from your real time observation. They have understand from various threat organization, various, you can say, information warfare areas. So various you can say projected you can say research papers. Through that they identified the, you can say, behavioral analysis. So this is what MITRE. Okay, so we'll discuss about latter, right? Okay, so this will provide you, you can say, who will get what kind of, you can say, perception, what is the use. So basically this particular MITRE attack gives you a global scenario, global visibility of how an attack happens, how, what kind of attacks are there, what is mean by different type of attacks, and how a recon is start from, you can say, search of your target till finishing of attack, how attackers is doing all these activities, and how we can map, what kind of attack comes under which area. Let's say someone is creating some malicious software. Someone is creating some malicious software, so it comes under where? So I'm preparing that. See, let's say I'm a hacker, so I am preparing a you can say one bomb. Let's say I'm preparing a bomb. So what I am doing, I'm preparing some weapon to destroy you. So right now what I am doing, I am preparing, it comes under weaponization. So how we can see, while identifying some you can say codes, or you can say some scripts, we can consider attacker is in that particular area of concern. Now he is preparing for the weapon, is say exploitation. Now there is something called, we used to get some spam mails, right? We used to get some spam mails. We used to keep on getting so many mails which is having you can say so much of malicious content. Let's say you got some lucky draw, this draw, this draw. So what it is giving, it's giving some delivery. They want to just click here to get you some 10 pounds, or you can say you will get a $10 here, on click you will get it, or provide this information to get this voucher. So what he's doing, he is trying to deliver some weaponization content on your machine so that he can exploit. So the strategy how is following is comes under this particular mapping methodology, right? So as an analyst, we are here to behavior analysis of attacker. If you find any attack, now at what point of stage the attacker is first and foremost, and then how the behavior was actually was, how attacker was trying to get. See, let's say the attacker is trying to some brute force attack. So to do that brute force attack, let's say brute force attack means something like, you people might know, but otherwise also I'll tell, someone is doing some busting of, you know, say username and passwords on your some authentication mechanism. So prior to that, he might have prepared some set of users and set of weak passwords or a dictionary passwords with them. Then only he can do that particular attack, right? So he prepared and he delivered some content to you inside your organization. Then he started busting that particular activity. But how the earlier things was happened? Why only you got now discovered here? Why that was not discovered there? And what kind of methodology he opted? We need to identify that. So being a incident responder, being a analyst, we should know what is the behavior activity of an attacker and what is his present status in terms of, you know, there are some stages called you can say there is a cyber kill chain. By, you can say, there are so many people provided some cyber kill chain methodologies. The famous is something called by Lockheed Martin. There are some different 7 stages. In each stages they have some tactics. So how they follow the tactic, what kind of tactics it is there. So it is in terms of all, the MITRE is something called, it is a concept of tactics, techniques and procedure, how an attacker, now we come to know what is meant by attack, MITRE attack. So how an attacker is following the attack framework to exploit your organization network, and how the methodology is opting, what is his tactic and technique and his procedure. So we are going to dig each and every understanding of what is meant by tactic, and each tactic what are the different techniques are there. So we will going to understand the main concept of those things, right? And we can do, let's say someone is doing some reconnaissance, it comes under which part of your tactics? And let's say someone is doing some mail, he is doing some malicious mails to you, he comes under which part? We are doing some mapping by understanding the attack. So by doing this we can come to know the structure of this is there, and by seeing that there is a APTs called, you can say groups, we can consider there are some groups are available called advanced persistent threats. Is this behavior is based on that activity, so that we may identify who is the attacker by understanding the process. Because in a MITRE framework there are lot many groups pre-discovered after attack was happened and all. So we will discuss all those things, right? So in our training what we are focusing, basically we will discuss about what is cyber attack, you can say life cycle, or we can consider this is a anatomy of your cyber attack. We will discuss about the basic cyber kill chain. Prior to that, the history of kill chain, there is something called military kill chain, is called Quadra F, there is a F2T2EA is there. We will discuss these things. Then we will discuss about what is mean by pyramid of pain. So what is easy to describe, what is hard to, even say very tough to map, we will discuss all those. Then we will discuss of, you can say threat modeling, we will discuss about threat modeling, right? And we will discuss about exploit activities, how the MITRE activities is there, and what is mean by pre-exploit and post-exploit activities in terms of tactics. Then there is something called you can say navigation. We will discuss something called, there is a online site is there, it's called MITRE attack organization site. So we will understand that matrix in terms of enterprise level, Windows, Linux, you can say IoTs, and there are lot many different versions are there. We will discuss enterprise level, mobile version, Windows version of, you can say matrix and all that we will discuss. Then small and highly portable detection tests mapped to that particular attack. So this is how the detection test mapped. So we will discuss that mapping methodology. Then we will discuss about navigator. There is something called a beautiful area called navigator. We can navigate each and every attack there, and we can select that particular navigation so that we can come to know what is the procedure is there. So I will show you that and all for the, just we will discuss first, then we will go back there. Then how can we use this particular defensively? So MITRE attack is, of course, I keep on telling this MITRE attack is for how the attacker is doing. By this, and other attackers may come to know how the attacker attacks, but on the other way, how we can defend by seeing this particular attack, that we need to understand. Now there is a Caldera, there is something called automated simulation system is there. I will show you how to do those things and how to install and all that. I'll make it ready, that particular Caldera setup, and if you people want, I will provide you that particular lab over the internet. You can download that lab. I will provide you some Ubuntu based machine. I will provide you, just download that particular lab, and you can run in on your VMware, that I will show you. Then we will discuss about use cases, how a MITRE attack use cases can be happen. Then self advancement, how to do the warming up, how to attack, how to map your attacks, multiple map attacks and all. We will do the TTPs for Active Directory. There are some atomic red tests are there, then we will do that. And in each and every, see, this is our indexing, and each and everywhere we will discuss about introduction to MITRE attack. So what is MITRE attack, how the framework works, where we can getting used and how it's getting used, and we will, as I said, the concepts of enterprise, free attack, mobile attack. Other than that, the Windows, you can say Linux, and industrial ICT devices, and the containerization attacks, you can say procedures and all that we will discuss. And if you want to see that particular attack framework, I'll show you. This is how it looks like in a real time. The attack.mitre.org is the one site which will give you matrices over here. Let's say I will show you. This is what the matrices. So it has a very heavy area. I'll show you. There are total 14. There are 14 tactics we can consider. These are called tactics, starting from your reconnaissance and ends with your object of actions. So when we talk about reconnaissance, and each reconnaissance there are something called techniques. Under each technique there are something called sub techniques. These are called TT and sub ST. This is called tactics, techniques and sub techniques, and along with that there is something called procedure. On each technique, if you click this technique, you will get with the detection. I'll show you that particular one area. Let's say this is a sub technique. Under this the procedure is there. How they got the procedure, how the attack was happened, by using which kind of procedure. So here the examples are there. Set user to get the easy elimination. So you can just click over here. You can come to know how the techniques used, what kind of techniques he used, what kind of tool he used, associated software details, OSX key, you can say key DNAP. So this is one of the tool. So he used, so by stealing the information of user's keychain, or you can say information by using some backdoor kind of activities. So similarly, there are some software. You can come to know what kind of different software they use. So it is a very very big you can say database. This database, if you wanna do everything on internet, sometimes it get hangs. Let's say I'll show you. If I do multiple times some activities, it may get stuck. So we can download this. We can download by using GitHub solutions, right? So we can set up our local attack framework in our machine. We can set up in our machine as a GitHub solution, right? As a navigator, I will give you entire process how to set up our MITRE attack navigator, right? So we will set up the version control, that is GitHub, and we will install and configuration attack navigation, and we'll see how the navigation can be copied. How can we import and export this data? So there are some procedures we can directly detect without understanding the data and all that. We will see how, and by using this methodologies we will understand what is meant by attack navigator, and there are some methodologies we will opt. And each we will discuss about threat informed defense. What is mean by there is something called threat informed defense, and cyber threat intelligence analysis. There is called TIP. There is something called TIP. We consider threat intelligence platform. So how we will identify some you can say IOCs, indicators of compromise, and how we can share and collaborate by using something called sticks and taxing methods. We will discuss those activities. What is mean by threat intelligence platform and all. And there is something called one tool called MISP, called multi information sharing platform, which is also is one of the TIP tool. So we will discuss that one also, right? And we will go to groups page, navigator page, and how to do the industry search for various things. Let's say I wanna do a medical research. So what are the different tactics for medical organization? Then how we can do for major organization entity and all that we will discuss. And the detection process, analytic process, collection of data, how all these things can be done by using your attack methodology. You might have gone to your IR, where you might have did all this IR process. You got some data. So now we are putting this data into this particular area. So similarly, we have, as I said, there are many activities. We'll go one by one. Initial access, execution, persistence, privilege escalation. These are our tactics. Under each tactics, what is actually initial access? What is meant by external remote services, spear phishing links, What is meant by supply chain poisoning, or you can say compromise, or you can poisoning, trusted relationship, how you can identify that, how we can mitigate that action, what are the validation accounts. We can do some case study in terms of initial access. Then we'll go back to execution. What is meant by execution? What is meant by CLI, LFI, local file inclusion, remote file inclusion? What is the control panel items? How to do null session, you can say modeling. What is meant by PowerShell scripting? What is meant by execution? What kind of remote execution, local execution? What is meant by bypassing? So in terms of PowerShell, we will discuss, right? And how to, you can set up a, you can say what is meant by persistence, then how to hide yourself, how to hide into some service, or how to hook into some service, or how to hide into your new service. What is mean by that? What is mean by browser extensions? We used to see some browser extensions, and some inside there are some malware used to be found, or some rootkit or activity, rootkit or a rootkit activity. Then how these things are getting happen, and why we can consider it is in a persistent stage? Because the attacker wants, or the adversary wants to hide himself into that particular area to avoid detected, right? So we will discuss the different methodologies of those things. Then privilege escalation, how to do token manipulations, how attacker will do. We will discuss all those concepts, right? So we will discuss about exploitation and how a normal user will get the administration level of activities by using some different using something like et command, schedule command, sudo command, right? By using web shells. And we will discuss about some case study of privilege escalation too. And defense evasion, how to do hidden files directory, setting up of your security tools, you can say integration and handling of your audit logs, clearing of data and all, and the process hacking, software, you can say software patching. On software they may add some extra malicious scripts, so that he can try to do some process hopping or process hollowing. And we will discuss about credential access, where he can get the data, something like you can say bash history, something like et commands area, credential dumping of your browsers, credential dumping of your saved logon areas, and steal web session cookies. So we will understand about what is mean by MITM, man in the middle attack, man in the browser attack. So we will discuss about what is mean by cross-site forces script. So you can say what is the XFSS and XSS. So those we will discuss, and we can understand what is mean by credential access, and if this kind of attack happens, so it comes under this area. So now this kind of attack comes if someone is doing some process hopping, or a hidden users, or you can say hidden files, it is trying to do this defense evasion. So we will understand the methodology of those things. So once we started mapping in this area, so we can find like the attacker, yes, he tried first, he tried to recon my area, something like he did active scanning, and he identified these activities. He tried to send to these many people as a mails, as a spam. Then he went to these are exploitation, something like he tried SMB vulnerability, he tried something like you can say something like MS-2122 or something like that. Then he get into the machine, he try to create some schedule talks, he do some basic schedule tips, so that we can come to know he is at you can say persistent stage. And he try to get you can say get some permissions, he try to identify some escalations he got when he got a basic user privilege. Then he try to hide. It's not mean that he got the if he got attacked, so the other way around, the people are there to detect, right? So as soon as he get exploited into some machine, so he will try to avoid detect. His first intention is to not to detect by any defender. So he try to hide himself into some area, so that if at all he gets into one area, he try to move into the another. So he try to move something like lateral movement. There are so many things are there, we will discuss, right? And he'll try to dump information, so that he can utilize those information into other area. Then he will do again, it's called lateral movement. He will do again a discovery. He will try to find so much of discovery area, who is the user, who is the discovery, what is the use if I exploit this mission and all. And he will do so much of account discovery for lateral movement. So this lateral movement is something like he move from internal organization, he move from one area to another area. How he will move and all that we will discuss. There are lot many things. He will do some hijacking. He will throw some you can say the worm so that he can move easily from one area to another, and that particular malicious software will move on to across your machines. And then he will do something called collection. So collection of clipboard data, audio data, local data, and try to collect some information from the area and set up its own bot network. And there are so many zombies there to collect the data and keep it at one location. Then he will try to set up a command control from where he will try to send the data in a tunnel to avoid detect again from internal to external. So which makes so much of annoying. So your data is getting theft by some attacker. So if the attacker is at this stage, what kind of precautions we need to take? What kind of attacks? What happens? See, we will use something called use cases. So what if this particular spam mail comes? What kind of spam mails are there? What is mean by, you can say, social engineering? What are the different social engineerings are there? How we can identify and all that we will discuss. And similarly, while doing some you can say exfiltration and infiltration, if you are doing some data exfiltration is getting happen, so how a attacker used to do, and how can we detect there in our perimeter at your firewall, or you can say your UTM device, or you can say outgoing traffic handler, or you can say perimeter router. So how will you identify those activities, and how can you mitigate? So we'll discuss about uncommon use ports. What is mean by 4444, 8888, 8844. So why these people are using these ports only? Why don't they use the register ports? What is an issue with that? So we will discuss that. Then what is mean by exfiltration? How they do compress? At what point of what is mean by ultra compress? What is mean by data transfer? Whether they do direct data transfer or they limit or something that they can do some you can say crunches of data. So how attacker will do to not detect? So we need to identify them. So exfiltration. Similarly, impact. If you lost the data, what is the data? What amount of effect it is there on your data? What if the account gets deleted or defacement happens or data get modified or something like, okay? And then monitoring of a compromised system. If something got modified, so we'll utilize some navigator to do the identify how that see this what. So we will, once we did all these activities, we will place the same things. So he did this kind of impact, he did this kind of exfiltration, he did this kind of, you can say, defense evasion, he did this kind of lateral movement by using these kind of tools. So now what is the behavior of this? So we will do that monitoring of that particular compromised system, right? Then eternal blue, there is a WMI compromising system is there. So we'll do the WMI based attack was happened. Then eternal blue, there's another framework which we will see the architecture, how that attack was happened and all. Then we'll see how finished reporting mapping. We will do some finished after completion of that remote, how we will push. And similarly, we have some raw data, not finished reporting, we have some raw data. Then how can we do, and how can we store and analyzing mapped model intelligence? So these are some recommendations. And other, this is one part of, you can say, attack. Similarly, there is something called, in MITRE there is a other methodology is called defend. If you see, there is a other one is called MITRE defend. So this is what called other structure. There is something called MITRE defend matrix. People may know MITRE attack format. There is something called defend method. Here also there are something called artifacts. There are something called there is something called technique, tactics and procedure. Here we discuss about artifacts. How can we harden? How can we detect? How can we isolate? How can we deceive and evict? This is something called IR policy. So we know very well what is meant by incident response and all. So we will discuss this harden. Prior to that, how to prepare our system to harden ourselves so that the attack cannot be happened. If at all attack got happened, how you are detecting that? What are the different methodologies to detect? Then once you got detected, how will you isolate? That means how will you can say contain that particular machine from others to not infect. Then how will you decoy that? How will you deceive? You can consider. And finally, how did you eradicate that particular situation? By doing some activities, by disabling, by process termination, by doing by removing that particular machine from this out of that particular network, by quarantine method. So you will do some methodology. So this is something called defend. The other metric is also called, there is something called detect, right? There is something called detect MITRE, right? There is something called detect. So similarly, there is a detect methodology is there. See, detect. So by using all these methodology, so we will do MITRE ATT&CK auto detect methodology on a raw data. We will do this one also. So we will set up the detect lab, we will set up the attack lab, we will do the defend matrix. We will understand the concept of defend. So this is all about your MITRE attack, detect and defend area. So this is the scope of our entire classes. During this we will set up some labs related to Caldera, related to your activity and all, right? So once we got the idea of concern, so we'll do go for a use cases. What if the spear phishing mails are coming? What if phishing is coming? What kind of phishing can be happen and all that we will discuss according to the use cases, right? So this is the entire scope of our sessions, and we will do this on weekends every Saturday and Sunday. Either it is 4 to 6 or a 5 to 7 according to the requirement of the people, how the people are planning a 3 to 5 or a 4 to 6. Generally we do plan for a 4 to 6, or else according to the admin plan. So I will discuss with the admin team and HR team, so they will prepare that particular 2 hours of session. So this is around total of 1 minute. Total 20 hours of LED sessions total entirely. It includes both explanation of each and every tactics, as well as you can say defend matrix and all, and the sessions including the practicals and all. It will be of 20 hours of session. And imagine this is an endless activity, and a new type of attacks are keep on coming, but the methodology of understanding MITRE attack is most important. So we will understand how we can understand a matter in a better manner, so that a new attack comes, then how can we diagnose that? It's something like you are a doctor, you are doing some research on different type of cancers. Suddenly if you know the various type of cancers, now you are now able to identify the new cancer pattern. What if the new cancer happens? So by seeing the various type of your cancer methodologies, you are identifying these can be the understandings. So this is how similarly we detect on our missions too, right? So we'll do provide similarly, as I said, whenever I create any lab, I do provide this particular that particular thing over the net, so that you can download, you can utilize. I'll provide you VMware as well as, so that you can download that VMware and install into your machine. So and just upload export that import into that particular VMware, so that it can start or run that particular machine and all. This is our plan of action, right? The sessions will be start from tomorrow onwards, from 4 to 6 according to the HR plan, right? And will be given with you can say recorded videos availability on the drive. It's something like it's always available, right? So this is our plan of action. Anyone has any doubts, just let me know. Yeah, sorry guys, I thought there was there are so many people thrown so many doubts. Sorry for that. Yeah, Prince Kumar Jaiswal requested, can we track APT and their TTPs? Yes, of course, we'll go for at least some of the, at least we will find some beautiful APTs. We'll find important APTs, and we'll see that particular TTP, how they follow, and we will identify some tips that threat intelligence platform. Through that MISP, we will identify the IPs and all, right? What is the prerequisites of this course? Dheeraj Banwar asked that prerequisites of course is something like, if you are enthusiastic to understand, if you are an analyst, then this course is more than sufficient for you being an analyst, right? Please provide some insights about sticks and taxi standards of high level. Yeah, Babu requested this. Please provide some sticks and taxi. Very simple. Sticks is something called structured threat information, you can say expression, how threat information is there, in which format it is there. Taxi is something, the methodology, how you are collecting into your that may be SIEM tool or some threat intel platform. It's a very simple, we will discuss in a very deeper manner, don't worry. So we will see some stick standards, some API calls, how a sticks, I mean sticks is the methodology, the structure, and the methodology is something like API, or how you are collecting and all, we will see, don't worry. I will even show you how to integrate a taxi method in your QRadar, right? There is a streaming security intelligence is there, then I will show you there, don't worry. Babu, thank you so much for this question. And we will need to hands-on experience in any SIM to create detection rules, capture threats, and right, for this base we should aware what are the different log sources, map data sources, and right, these are the basic requirements that being an analyst you should know. Otherwise we can have a 15 to 20 minutes of session. So what are the different you can say data sources are there, what is mean by SIM, what is mean by EDR, what is mean by tip, and all that we will discuss in a 1 hour, in a 1 hour session, don't worry, that we can. Babu asked another question. My question is we need to familiar with all 14 tactics and 290 plus techniques? See, that 14 tactics is most important. I do explain each and every part of the tactics, but the techniques, I will tell you the techniques how it actually works. But understanding 290 plus techniques. Right now it is 290 plus, right? So in the last 3 months back it was 270, and in a last year it was something in the month of January it is only 253 techniques. See, as this is a real time observation, these techniques will be keep on increase. There is no end for understanding these techniques and sub techniques. See, of course we need to know the basic concept of how we can detect this particular technique in a faster manner. That I will tell you how to do that. Is lab access only training period? After that, see, I will provide you the particular zip files directly to you so that you can download. You can place in your mission. Say if you have a basic mission of 8 GB with a basic 4-core processor mission, it's more than sufficient to install that particular missions, right? Anyone acknowledging chat questions? Okay, Deepak, sorry for the delay, but so and someone asked, sorry, any insights and threat hunting? See, we all are working on threat hunting only. We are doing the threat mapping here, so you can come to know various threat hunting techniques too. So you can come to know various threat hunting techniques too. Raghuram asked the question, so you will get threat hunting techniques too, no doubt. Any other doubts other than this?
Vishnu, I just joined. So
Yeah.
can you just brief me about your background, what you did in your, experience, work experience, or
Yeah, I am presently a chief analyst in data center management unit. I completed more than 10 plus years in IT security exclusively. I worked as though I did not have the experience of system security at the early stage. Because of my experience in system administration, network administration for more than 5 years, I got a very good opportunity to work directly on security coordination and incident handling. So that was my first career object in terms of cert. I worked for a cyber emergency response team. Then I just from there I come to know, I realized I required a very good in-depth knowledge of network as well as data services operations. So I moved on to understanding of system and network log analysis through Splunk. I did so much of analysis on it for more than 2 3 years. Then I worked for operations manager as a SIM administration where I understood all SIM concepts. I did for Curador where I understood data services, data security analysis. I understood what are the various concepts of data sources, understanding so many security services. I got a very good scope of threat recognition. I found so many attacks over there. So I have seen L2 level, L3 level, L7 level attacks there, layer 7. Then I have seen sniffing attacks, brute force attacks. So those I have seen very closely. Then presently I am a chief analyst in cloud, exchange reporting and Azure Active Directory area for a data center management unit. So similarly, I have a total of 15 years experience. Out of that, 10 plus years in IT security and 5 years exclusively on data and network services. This is my a brief introduction, and I have been taking these sessions. I am very much passionate to take sessions on SOC exports, MITRE attack mappings, as well as CQA, that is Curador analysis, as well as I am also a certified trainer for security plus as well as network plus and CES. So this is my brief introduction. Thank you, Jonathan. Any other doubts?
Just required one. I think like what will be the path to achieve this certificate? Because MITRE is something where we will get to know, like for the experienced guy it is fine, but for the new joiner it will be not directly go into the MITRE. So first you have to have the CH or something certificate in hand.
See, this MITRE attack is it's not a global certified attack certificate right now. So very few organizations, if you go for any other area, they do only provide a concepts of MITRE attack, what is MITRE attack, and but no one is providing the certification or giving a very in-depth understanding of MITRE attack. If you go for any global certification, you don't find. So we have created this particular certification to make sure that each and every individual should know the concepts of this particular MITRE attack. That's the only reason behind our scope. See, our prime concern is to people should know the what is MITRE and how to map a analyzed data. That is most important. Being an analyst, or being a incident responder, so how will you map your activity in a MITRE so that you can do so much of better analysis of your behavioral? So how attacker will perform the attacks, what is his intention, what was the scope, where he has put his more efforts, so that that particular weak area you easily grab into area, so that you can do some easy harden that area by doing some detect and defend methodology. By using defend, we can do the hardening part. So we will understand that artifact where it is got struck, on which area. So because of that I get exposed to as a vulnerable point and all. So how do I defend myself, what is the hardened practices? So those things we will understand, so that this will be help us to I mean set up a compliance, a security compliance for our organization to avoid attacks from the attackers, right?
So
Any
in
other
this
doubts?
course, in this course you will get hands-on as well, like homework you will provide, or how it will be like two-way interaction should be there, right?
Yeah,
So
two-way,
if
of course. I do provide some use cases saying that how see, let's say there's an attacker. I will give you APTs. So I will give you a standard APTs how this is the performance, and you need to find out on a navigator. You need to place in that. See, I will give some conditions. See, attacker has did these are the 5 conditions attackers did. Now identify the methodology, how he behaved. So I will give you a first basic inputs of various APTs and all. Then I will give you some basic understanding. I will give you some uh, use cases, and I will tell you to map those into area and give a screenshot to me so that I can come to know whether you have achieved that particular practice or not. I will give you a proper see, we have a plan to give some exercises too. So for various groups we have identified in this regard. No worries.
Yeah, just one last question.
Yeah.
And how it is different from the CPENT or OSCP? If we compare this both, uh, MITRE framework and this one, the syllabus wise,
See,
what you are going to
CPENT,
take in this? Yeah.
CPENT and OSCP has exclusively tool-based access. Here we will discuss incident response in a various levels. This is more of, you can say, if we start understanding, we will discuss about the, you can say, concepts of, you can say, attacks here, where you will do the attacks. In OSCP and CPENT you will do the attacks, how a pen tester do the pen test activities, how OSCP, how attack can be, how a vulnerable machines can be exploited, how to identify vulnerability management, how to do exploitation, what are the different tools can be utilized. In there we will discuss on CPENT OSCP. Here we will discuss what are the, see, let's say there is a brute force attack is happening. Now here we are discussing he is at which stage, which part of tactics, he is which stage of your cyber kill chain. Pen test is doing, whether we discovered or not, and at what point of stage we discovered, whether we discovered in a spam, or whether we discovered at exfiltration area, whether we discovered in a lateral movement, whether we discovered in a malware area, or what kind of area we discovered. And from there, when we do the reverse engineering of that particular incident, we come to know various aspects of that particular attack. So we might have found source IP, we might have done a source IP analysis. Once we find that source IP analysis, we come to know he might have come on a very different request, on a very different request. What was that request? And is there any domain, suspicious domain found from that, any emails you got? If you got that emails, what kind of emails you got? Why this particular thing was not detected in email security if it is not provided any logs? So we will discuss on all these concepts, right? So on a CPENT and all, they will identify the vulnerable machines and the exploitation stage. They will do some gray. There's something called you can consider something like pen testing, or you can say vulnerability assessment on a gray based activity, or you can say black phase, gray phase, and a white phase there. That is an attack prospect and vulnerable area and assessment prospect. If you start understanding about your OSCP, or you can say this CPENT. So where if you are going in an ethical manner, you will find the assessment of that particular organization. Here we are defending for the real time activities.
Okay, so it will be having the malware analysis, or some part of that will be touched, right? Reverse engineering, malware analysis.
We don't do analysis. We will
Okay.
identify the activities and
Okay.
what he was. See, let's say he thrown some virus. Let's say he thrown some virus. What was the virus and all, we will find in a tick. And who did, who can do this. By throwing the same thing, we come to know there are these many groups they did. By MITRE attack, we come to know there are 20 groups, there are 20 APTs were there, those who did. Out of this, we started doing the segregation and finding the APT if it is there. If someone is APT is doing, then we will identify them, right? So this is the scope of this particular classes.
Okay, got it,
Yeah.
got it.
So that's all from my side. Any doubts, just let me know, or you can contact us. Sorry, uh, we have, sorry. So this is our WhatsApp number 7737131337, and you can also mail us on vishnu@hacktivist@gmail.com and info@siemenslezen.com. If you have any doubt regarding to this, you can contact in this particular number. We will provide you this particular uh, drive solutions where you will find videos and all. We will provide you whatever we are going to show you, something like presentations, whatever I explain, the concepts, whatever I show you, that will be covered in that particular. That I will do upload on a week wise. That as soon as the session completes, I do upload all those things into that particular area. That will be available as an access area, right? So you can utilize this particular sessions globally across this, as this is an online session. It is very easy to go and access your material, as well as you can contact me at any point of time once you join into the course. So any doubts related to that, I'll be there to clear up the particular doubts at any point of time. No doubt, at any point of time, 24 hours into 7, I'll be available, right? And thank you so much to be here on with this much patience, right? Yeah, people, do you have any doubts?
Yeah, Vishnu, you said like it's for 2 hours per day. I mean, session is scheduled for 2 hours per day, right? 20 or so. It will be last for like 10 days, and right?
Yeah, and in a weekends, right?
Okay, yeah, I understood. And one more thing, uh, is it like MITRE is a generic platform, right? And irrespective of whichever domain you are in cybersecurity, it will be helpful to pursue it, right?
Exactly.
So I have also observed MITRE tactic in the AKS, like maybe like Kubernetes security. There's a kill chain for that as well, being can be framed there. So I mean,
Exactly.
for where exactly it is used and at what level it is used. I mean, at which phase of cybersecurity it is usually used.
The You can start from the you can say from the day one of your life in cyber security. MITRE attack will be used. You can talk, if you're talking as a physical machine, if you're talking as an application, if you're talking in the operating system, if you're talking in a web application, if you're talking in a network, if you're talking in a packet, if you're talking in each and every part of your cyber world, the MITRE will be available, right? So in somewhere, some point of location, it will be mapped, because without this is the only real time observation how attack is happened, right? So attack can be happened on Kubernetes cloud, endpoint, a server, or application, or a network, or anywhere, right?
Yes.
So we can't imagine, this is a globalized methodology how attacker can do attack on the various platforms. So we will understand that activities only.
And like for sometimes we need to have we need to create use cases around stuff. So will it help me to create those use cases? Like
Like,
for instance, yeah, like for instance, if I'm implementing a SIEM solution, right, and that scenario, whatever data connector I connect. So if I don't have any analytic rules to understand the logs which I'm ingesting or to probe for some threat in the logs, so to create any out of the box rule, analytic rule for the data which I've ingested via, so
see,
will this help me to create a
the
analytic
methodology
rule?
of, see, it is something like this. Again, now it is a win-win and a mitigation practices how you are opting. I cannot
Yeah.
assure you that exactly for each and every attack that you will be get that particular solution, but somehow you will get.
Mhm.
But somehow you will get.
And how much will be hands-on in this, like percentage-wise, or like how much is theory? Yeah,
See, these are the
any.
concept-based activities. So it is, I can say, you can say 60-40. I can say 40% of practical, 60% of theory. Reason being, it's more of concept that you need to understand in a very deeper manner. How attack is happens, how see, it's more of you can say 60-40, 60% of theory and 40% of, you can say, practical, that we will do some caldera, that area where we can see the attacks, and with respect to that it will automatically create some things that you will see. That is again practice area, that's not in real time observation, that you can feel that yes, this is the area that how we can map and all. and the other way around we will in a GitHub solution that we are integrating and all that. You can consult again while explaining is that again for how to download and all that already I do, but still I will show you how to do the things and all. But for that you again understand theory concepts only. This is more of, you can say, concept you need to understand. It's not like it is a conceptual based, imaginary based more of, not like analysis that if I get a spearfish attack, so I'm just killing of this attacks easily. So we are identifying here what is MITRE actually, how attackers imagination we will understand here. That's the most important concept that we are going to learn here.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. So any more doubts? So thank you so much guys to being here, and please be the part of SIM Intelligence, so most beautiful organization that you will and we have numerous experienced manpower, as well as you can say me as a you can say more than 3 years experience in terms of giving these lectures and all. So I'll try to give the best effort. I will put my best effort to give the passionating content in terms of MITRE, and that's all from my side. Thank you so much. So still have any doubts, just let me know, or else we can close the session. Thank you so much. Good night to all.
Vishnu, just one last.
Yeah, Jonathan, please.
So how much duration it will take? Like 10 days it will be Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, 10 I
So it
mean you
will
can say 5 weeks, 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. That's all from my side,
Thanks.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
good night all. Hi everyone. Oh, sorry for the delay.